Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idle, and got another bit of an update for limited run games for you guys, which, limited run games being their name might turn out to be a quite literal thing, seeing as they're probably going to be going out of business, especially if this tweet has anything to do with it. So here we see Neon. If you are unfamiliar with Neon, he is part of the Clownfish TV crew, the ones who were made, famous by dunking on Kevin Smith and them having a bit of a tizzy over it when they were entirely correct. So when the limited run games news broke, they were some of the first to cover it, and it was especially bumming out for Neon because he was quite a fan. A lot of people were. Having collectible versions of classic games, it is honestly a smart business model. But then when you find out the company's trash, well, what you gonna do? Well, Neon and many others have been asking for refunds, and this is the response he got. Let's go through it. No refund from limited run games. Somehow they think they've been getting asked for refunds a lot this week. Bank run. Sigh. I hope this message finds you well. I do apologize, but as items are in hand and are expected to ship out ASAP, all blowout sale orders are final and cannot be edited or canceled. We apologize for any inconvenience. However, if you'd rather not keep the items, you can request to return the sealed items within the first 30 days after delivery via a separate support ticket, and our claims department will be happy to go over that process and assist you with that. However, do note, we do not cover any shipping costs needed to return the items. Otherwise, if you'd rather keep the items, then no further action is required. If you have any other questions or concerns, let us know and we'll be happy to help. Otherwise, have a great day. Limited Run Games. Now, here's the thing. They know why they're getting asked for refunds so much, because they screwed up, because everyone hates them, because they would rather listen to an alleged pedophile trans individual who has advocated for not good things for kids over standing behind one of their female employees who, as far as we all know, had never done anything wrong or had no issue with the company. It was all because of certain people she followed on Twitter or certain tweets she liked. This form of activism that they decided to choose has absolutely hurt their company, will continue to hurt their company, and it's to the point where now everyone is asking for refunds and they're flat out denying it. They can claim, oh, they're in hand and expected to ship out ASAP. No, they know they're going to lose a bajillion dollars by trying to refund all these people who are asking for refunds, and they can't afford to do that or they're going to go under. I mean, it really is that simple. There's no other way to spin it. They're going to find reasons that they can't refund these individuals, or at least make the refund process so difficult people give up as a way to mitigate any sort of losses, which is just not how you run a company. If you were trying to save yourself from any further backlash, this is not how you do it. Let's read some of these replies and we'll go from there. I would just take the L on this one. At least you're getting what you once wanted before the debacle. Just vow to never buy there again. That's just my take. When Neon replies, yeah, it's not worth the hassle, to be honest. I'm just not buying from them again. So, I mean, that's completely fair. If you don't want to go through the hassle of sending everything back and whatnot, I don't know if I would or not. I mean, I would like to say that on principle I would, but I'm also a very lazy individual and a bit of a procrastinator. So, maybe I would say I would do it than not end up doing it. But you know what it is they say about procrastination. Procrastination's like masturbation. The more you do it, the better it feels. But in the end, all you did was fuck yourself. Too bad you can't request to return them before they've even shipped. But that's the thing, is you're asking, they haven't shipped yet. Yeah, he even says right here, they haven't shipped yet. It says in the article above, they're being shipped out ASAP, so they haven't shipped. So being able to cancel this order and get a refund should absolutely be within limited run games' power. But again, they don't want to lose the money. That's what it boils down to, is so many people are canceling their orders and asking for refunds that they're just in a position where they can no longer do refunds or they're going to go under. But oh well, that is what happens. You made this bed, lie down in it. You hypothetically could try and get back in the good graces of this company by publicly apologizing and at least offering Kara, I believe that was her name, Carolyn, her job back. Now, whether or not she would end up taking it, who knows? She might not want to be with the company after they've screwed her over like they just did. But at least publicly apologizing, admitting you were in the wrong, taking responsibility, and offering that individual, not just apologize to us gamers and say you were in the wrong, but apologize to the girl you fired and offer her job back. That would at least be a step in the right direction, but instead they are hiding replies. They're making it to where you cannot reply on certain topics. I've been checking their Twitter about every other day. The vast majority of posts are blocked from replies. It's just ads for games coming out. so that they've got their accounts locked, so you can't comment on them, which is just an absolute skeevy way to run a business. It's one thing to be an individual person and block your comment section so that people can't comment. I still think that's incredibly weak, small-minded, and babyish. But you're an individual person, go for it. But if you're a business, oh, that's even worse. This individual says, pretty sure that refusing refunds when provided with a legitimate reason is illegal in many places. I don't know if this would be considered a legitimate reason, nor would it be considered illegal. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but that's something that limited run games would just have to deal with on the, their legal side of it. Alright, cancel with your bank or credit card. Remember when Funimation pulled this? Yes, I absolutely do remember. If you guys do not remember, let me regale you with the tale of Funimation. Funimation's UI and their user base had been crap. And then they fired Vic Mignogna. In a very, very similar fashion to this, accusations from individuals with no evidence, and in doing so, many, many people wanted to cancel their Funimation accounts. And Funimation made this incredibly difficult to do, so much so that when you finally found the hidden cancellation option on the desktop site, they had it removed at one point, if I remember correctly, to where you physically could not cancel, or when you went to do the cancel, if it wasn't removed, you would get an error message saying that the site was under maintenance, and it was a solid 3 or 4 months, if memory serves. This is like 3 or 4 years ago, so I could be going off some faulty memory, but it was 3 or 4 months, if I remember, before accounts were able to be canceled when they originally wanted to be. It was an absolute mess. Funimation never got punished for it. No one ever brought them to justice. Funimation is just as scummy a company as limited run games, possibly even more so. Yeah, it's almost virtually identical to what we're seeing now. Companies don't learn because people on the internet, we forget. We don't keep hounding. We're like, okay, we'll beat this with a dead horse. We'll beat this like a dead horse for 2 weeks, and then we move on to something else. The only thing that lasted even a semi-long time was Epstein didn't kill himself, which, guys, remember, hashtag Epstein didn't kill himself, and that lasted for about 8 months, and then even that fell off until you've got the occasional individuals who still try and keep it alive. Nothing stays alive on the internet, and we need to do better to keep it alive. Looks like you're getting stuck because the blowout clearance sales are final. It's a dirty pool, but you should be able to reverse the transaction, especially if there's an unreasonable shipping delay. Maybe. Like I said, I don't know enough about that concept. I do like all these individuals and all these fans banding together to try and find out a way to make sure limited run games fails and that Neon does get his refund. Even though he said he's just going to take the L and get the games, I like seeing everyone be like, no, limited games must die, and doing everything they can to try and convince him otherwise. Like, that's... Sometimes, they say that when you're looking out for your friends, sometimes you gotta tell them things that they might not want to hear, but they need to hear. That's how the internet's treating Neon and limited run games customers as a whole. Hey, look, I know you don't want to put up the fight, but you have to. If you really want to be petty, wait until your stuff arrives, then do a chargeback on your credit card. It gives your money back, and your credit card company will charge them around $3 to $5 in fees so they won't lose their product and get charged for the pleasure. Then do a giveaway. I mean, a lot of people have suggested the chargeback option, which, I can see both sides of, but then do a giveaway, that's even funny. Do a chargeback, get your money back, and then don't even sell the item. Don't even profit off of limited run games, failure. They're not even worth that. Just do a giveaway to a fan. Fair enough. That's great. That's pretty brilliant. Refund only if you haven't opened the item in the first 30 days. Shipping costs not included. Shake my head, bruh. I mean, really, that's pretty much all there is to this. It's just people complaining about limited run games, but understandably so. This is an absolute crap policy. It's a policy that probably would not have been in place had this debacle not happened, and they were getting mass amounts of requests for refunds. I personally never use limited run games. I can't speak to their customer service or anything to that effect. I can speak to, though, how they treat their employees, because we've seen one very public instance of how it's done, and it's garbage. And now we are seeing how they're treating their customers with posts like these, and I can only assume, once again, it is garbage. All just to save face and try and make sure that they can, reap in whatever financial benefits they can just to keep themselves afloat, since right now they are being lambasted online, and have been for the last week and a half. And it's deserving. They have brought this on themselves. They get what they deserve. I don't really know what else to say in that regard. I do hope there's an alternative. I think that game preservation is a big deal. Getting physical copies, physical media is always the right way to go. I don't, unfortunately, know of any other companies that really do this, but that's just because I'm I'm the type of individual that just buys stuff at my local game stores. I'm not even talking about GameStop and whatnot, like my local stores that aren't chains. That's where I prefer to go. Obviously, not everybody has access to that, so limited run games may have been a great alternative, and I wonder if there's an alternative to limited run games. If you know of one and want to share it with other potential viewers and customers, by all means, drop links to companies like that in the comments below, because everyone should be able to get their hands on on physical copies, especially for game preservation and collectors reasoning for it. And other than that, I think that's about it here. Just remember, down with limited run games. Make sure this company goes out of business, and you can watch my previous update videos on them if this is all new to you. But if you liked this one, go ahead and check out my previous videos. I've got some that cover the downfall of Dungeons and Dragons, or the downfall of the new Velma show. Heck, I even reviewed the new Velma show, the first 2 episodes at least, and it was something. Go ahead and watch that video just to get some clarification. You might like what you see. Well, we'll like what you see from me. You'll probably hate what you see from Velma. But that's about all we've got for this one. So definitely please subscribe. I would love to grow this channel in 2023, and I'd love you to do it with me so we can keep covering controversial topics in the nerdosphere like this and bring down these companies and programs that do not have us, the customer's best interests at heart. But until next time, this has been Words of Paradise.